Hello, my math muffins. This is going to be a video that's going over multiplying polynomials using distributive property. And we're going to do this. It's just an alternative method to last week's method of area model. So instead of using an area model, we're just going to use the distributive property. And we're still going to be simplifying the same expression. So some of you may like area model better, some of you may like distributive property better. Just make sure that you feel comfortable using both and that you give both different methods opportunity and practice. Okay, let's see, distributive property. So let me move myself. So this would be just kind of reviewing over distributive property. Remember specifically these examples here where we're distributing through the parentheses, either if the outside number is on the left or if it's on the right, moving it through each term with inside. Okay, so great. How can we use this when we have that double distributive? And I showed you in the last video that you can't just multiply the x and the x and the 1 and the 4. You have to multiply everything by every other thing in the second set. So think of it almost like you're doing double distributive. We're going to first distribute this term, and then we're going to distribute the 1. So we're going to distribute, let me color code it. And you'll see that this way is there we go. We're going to multiply the x times the x in the second set of parentheses as well as the plus 4. So I'm going to multiply those together. So x times x would be x squared, and x times plus 4 would be 4x. Then we're going to multiply the 1 times each term in the second set of parentheses. So let me see if I can get that. So the 1, let's use a yellow, look, like bright colors. All right. And then we can multiply it here and here, make it a little bit darker so that you can see it when I write it. So the 1 times x is going to be 1x, and the 1 times positive 4 is going to be plus 4. So you want to distribute the first term through the second set of parentheses, and then the second term through the second set of parentheses. From there, you can just combine your like terms, which are right here. We could put the 4x and the 1x together. So our final answer, I'll just do it in black, is going to be x squared plus 5x plus 4. So that will be your final. So you can see this way is, it's not as many steps, I guess, so you don't have to draw a picture and all that, but it's also a lot of arrows. And you'll see later on that it can get to be too much. So, okay, cool. So let's do, zoom out on this one. Let's do this problem. So these are actually the same problems as last time. Pick something that's a little bit easier. All right, so we're going to multiply the x through the parentheses here. I love this make. Okay, so we're going to multiply the first term in the first set of parentheses by both terms in the second. So x times x would be x squared. X times 3 would be a positive 3x. And then we're going to multiply the 6 times both terms in there, so times the x, and then also times the 3. So negative 6 times x would be negative 6x, negative 6 times 3 would be a negative 18. And then if you combine your like terms here, and that would be the x squared would just come down, and then 3x and negative 6x is negative 3x, don't forget about your integer rules, and then the negative 18. So that would be your final answer for that one. So again, what we're doing is we're taking the first term, multiplying it through the second set, then we're taking the second term, that will be the minus 6 in this case, and multiplying it by both the x and the plus 3. Okay, let's do a couple of more. Why not, right? Practice, 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 right? It's always weird talking to myself on these things when no one else is here. So that would be 2x times x, which is 2x squared, and then 2x times 3, which would be plus 6x. And then we'll pick the orange. And then the 1 times x and the 1 times 3. So 1 times x would be x, or just 1x, and then 1 times 3 is 3. And then again, we're going to just go ahead and combine terms here. Sorry, my daughter's like jumping upstairs and scaring me. So then that's going to be 2x squared plus 7x plus 3. And that'll be your final for that one. All right, we're going to do 2 more. Okay, so let's see. This is probably, out of multiplying, this is probably the one that has the most common mistake. A lot of people want to just square both of those terms, so it would be y squared plus 16. But that's actually only squaring the first terms and the second terms. So for this, we don't want to do that. You want to rewrite that as y plus 4 times y plus 4. Because that's what y plus 4 squared is. It's just y plus 4 times y plus 4. Then you have to, again, take the first term and you're going to multiply it through the parentheses. And so that's going to be y squared plus 4y. And then the second term, you'll do the same, times both numbers. And so that's going to be plus 4y plus 16. And so your final for that, just change it to black, would be y squared plus 8y plus 16. Which again, it's not the same thing as y squared plus 16. That plus 8y changes the answer. So we want to make sure that we're being careful when you have that. You're going to really want to just square it and move on, but you can't. Okay, because it's not equivalent. All right, the last one I'm going to do with you on this video is if you have a binomial times a trinomial. Remember that word with another one of our vocab. So this one, it's the same thing. You're just going to take, again, we're going to start with the first set, so that'd be the negative x minus 3. I'm going to multiply the negative x times everything in the second set, all 3 numbers. So that's going to be a negative x times 2x squared, so it'll be a negative 2x to the third. When you multiply, the exponents change on the variable. And then that would be the negative x times 5x, which would be minus 5x squared. And then negative x times 1, which would be a minus x, or a minus 1x. Now, sometimes I actually like doing it so that I'm only doing one at a time. So that way I know where I am, especially when they get to be a lot like this one. So if I just start with this, and I say, okay, negative 3 times 2x squared, okay, then just go and multiply that. Then I draw the next arrow, just so I don't get lost along the way. So that'd be negative 15x, and then the last one, which is like minus 3. And that way I know I got them all too. All right, so from here, you would combine your like terms together. So I'm going to combine the x squareds as well as the x's together. Make sure you take their signs with them. So this would be negative 2x to the third power. We're going to keep it, again, in standard form, so the x squared is going to come next, minus 11x squared, minus 16x, minus 3. Woo-wee! A 4-term, oops, can't see it, there we go. A 4-term polynomial. Very exciting. Okay, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day. See you next time.